Hey, this is Coach Adam Cobb, creator of the FYC method. And we're going to walk you through a 5-part series on how successful people dominate their health and wellness. Today is part 4 of 5. Last week was part 3 of 5, and basically that walked you through this concept of eat with your intuition and not your head. I hope that's going well. I hope you're starting to implement that into your life. So let's bring it to right now, part 4 of 5. Thanks for joining. I want to take you back 2 months ago when I was with one of my clients named David Lee, NBA All-Star, and one of the top 20 players in the league. He's a 20 times better human being. And he was asking me during our session as I was going through his nutritional protocols to get him ready for the season and prep him in this off season, which I like to call an on season, is that he said, hey, what are you doing tonight, 8 o'clock? So I went ahead, listen, we're outside, it's New York City, we got helicopters going on, you just have to work through it, okay? So do we. So he asked me, 8 o'clock p.m., what are you doing? I busted out this note card, and he looked at me a little puzzled, and I said, well, at 8 o'clock, this is what I'm doing. And I looked puzzled, but he also looked really surprised. I said, well, what is it? He said, well, that's funny because my uncle, that's really extremely successful businessman, does the same thing. And so do his friends. And I get why. Because one of my biggest questions was, why do you have a solid note card, like old school? And he said, well, it's not so much old school, it's because what it does is just I still have an calendar and all those organizational elements, but the actual note card allows me to unlock that creative component of just writing it down. And I keep it with me and I can see it and it's clear. So I want to share with you today 3 ways on why it's so important to keep this note card. Okay? Number 1, you plan each block of your time. So you write down each hour. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I write down from 5 to 10 p.m. each hour, and I put something in that block. It keeps you organized. It really helps you prioritize. Do I write in fun and spontaneity? Yes, I do, because I want that in my life. What you don't write down doesn't get done. It's that simple. Number 2, what's your great idea? Right? You have so many great ideas throughout the day. How many times have you had the great idea, shared it with somebody, and forgot it, and it was gone forever? Listen, now you can flip it over, write that great idea on a piece of paper. Okay? Write it down in your notes, put it in your computer later. Number 3, acknowledgement component. One thing I didn't share with you was when D. was telling this story, it was a really important game, and a reason why it was important, and he told his uncle that, and his uncle busted out his card and he wrote it down. And there's a feeling of being acknowledged, a feeling of being heard, and that's one of the most powerful pieces you can add to somebody's life, is just that feeling of being heard. A bonus tip of why it's important, because a note card equals noteworthy needs. What are those needs for you? You write them down on a note card and they absolutely get done. So at our FYC company here, the FYC team policy is if you don't have your note card, we ask each other every now and then, if you don't have it on you, you say, drop and give me 10. You drop and do 10 push-ups, because that's the accountability that we want to hold each other to. We want every person to have just an amazing day, and we don't want to forget about certain things that are important. One of the questions I get is, Coach, well, what if you do this and on this card you don't get those tips done? Well, if you don't get those tips done, are they needs or are they wants? If they're needs, you get them done. You don't go to bed until they're done. If they're wants, well, you shift them to the next day and you do them then. Do you plan your health, wellness, fitness life? Yes, you do. You make a time for that. You slot in your nutrition. You slot in your exercise and what it's going to be. Maybe put in your meditation. This is to help you be successful and dominant in your health and wellness. I'm going to leave you with this. The greater the preparation, the easier the motivation. So be motivated and be prepared every single day. This is Coach Adam Cobb. Summing up part 4 of the part 5 series. I'll see you soon for part 5. So, where's your card?
Right here, my friend. Where's yours?
Ooh. Drop it to me.
You go drop and give me 10.
Oh, man. Hey, listen. Leave your comments in the bottom of the vlog. And how do you stay organized?